Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the KONTAINEROZ podcast. The podcast is sponsored by PortPro, the leading operating system for drayage carriers. This is take like 10, but this is the one.
Yeah, third time is the charm.
Yes. In the studio, I got Paul Jaroslawski. He's the man behind Freight Caviar.
That's me.
Hey, what's up?
What up, Luis? Mr. Containeroz. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for coming all the way from
Poland.
Yeah.
Lublin, Poland.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's been a trip. It's been pretty wild. Been here for over a week now.
Yeah. I've been trying to get you in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today was the day. I'm like, let's do it.
You were in Pomona though, doing some consolidating, and what's up with that?
What's up with consolidating in Pomona? I was visiting a friend, actually a Freight Caviar follower, who's been we've been talking for some time, and he's like, you got to come out to Pomona. We got a warehouse there, and I met the CEO Anthony. It was Anthony and Areg, really cool guys. They have 57 docks up here in Pomona, trailers and all this stuff, and they bring in stuff from the drayage, consolidate it, and then ship it out. So it was just dope. We hung out with them. We went to go check out those lowriders in North Hollywood.
You almost broke your neck when
dude,
it was
my
hopping.
grandma texted me like wondering if everything's okay. She thought I'm like, I don't know, probably like I don't know, in some dangerous area where they were driving. You know, like I don't know. My grandma just thought I should not be there. She thought it was scary.
She don't see them too much over there, huh? Those types of cars.
Never seen that before.
Oh, okay. She was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah.
So, a little more about you. Like, what are you up to these days? Like, what do you do?
What do I do? I started working for this company called Warp out of Hollywood, California. 2 kids that just got venture capital, and they're building like this basically TMS and trying to work with LTL, or they're consolidating freight. Partials and stuff. They're like going against like Flock Freight. Have you heard of Flock Freight?
No.
It's a company out of San Diego. They've been pretty popular. So you do like drayage stuff, right? Like that's the whole containeroz drayage.
Yeah.
See, I don't know much about that industry. I don't, but
even I don't sometimes. Things change a lot.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's dope because I could give you some background from like freight brokering, like the big players, and you could give me something about some knowledge about the container stuff. But I was out in Pomona. We were hanging out. We went to go to Lowriders in North Hollywood, just having a good time. Went to Glendale. Shout out to all the Armenian people in logistics because they followed me. So it's been fun.
Wow. When do you plan to go back?
Going back Wednesday. Wednesday at 4 p.m. We land Thursday. Like 24 hours later, basically.
So before this, I'm aware you were a broker. You were brokering, right?
Yeah.
So how do you make the jump from that to Freight Caviar? Like, and what is that all about?
What is it all about?
Well,
it's like just bringing humor to the industry. I feel like that's kind of what I want to try to do, is bringing humor and kind of information, at least like the freight brokering world. So the people that follow me, they're freight brokers and dispatchers and some truck drivers. Not a lot of like drayage or container stuff, but there's brokers that follow me that do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But like the whole idea was just to make memes, have fun with it, post funny content. I was making memes and people were following me.
Yeah. You were triggering people.
Yeah, triggering a lot of people. Yeah, I'm actually not allowed to go on Instagram Live right now because I posted something a couple weeks ago and it got banned. I got blocked and I can't go on Instagram Live. I wish I could go on Instagram Live right now and just do this.
Can you describe what happened that got you banned?
Yeah,
tell us the story.
So what happened was someone messaged me and it said, could I swear on right now?
Fuck
no?
Yeah.
All right, so this guy messaged me. He was like, fuck you and fuck Ukraine. That's what he wrote. That's what his message was right there. I'm like, well, I'm going to just Google this guy and see where he works, And I Googled his name and I saw on LinkedIn, I saw where he worked. So I just took a screenshot of him and I screenshotted the message and I tagged him in the post. And then some other dude responded to me. He's like, why are you exposing this guy? Like, fuck you, fucking like Hitler and Stalin should have destroyed you Polish pigs before, before now, like, we should be dead, like, we're just, like, Polish pigs, right? And so I was like, I screenshotted him and I put him on blast, and, like,
everyone was getting it.
It was like, I just screenshotted what he wrote.
Yeah.
But the violent language is super violent, right? And Instagram, even though I was kind of putting him on blast because of what he wrote, which was just, like, it's crazy how people could think that way to anyone, right? To, like call you, like, a pig and saying that you should be dead, like, on via social media, right? Mm-hmm. And he reported that because I tagged him, and so yeah, I got blocked. I mean, I'm still on Instagram. I could post. I could do a lot of stuff. I can't like collaborate with people. The collaborate button. I can't collaborate, and I can't go on Instagram Live. I'm not sure when it's gonna end. It's not like it tells me when, but I try to go on Instagram Live, and it says you're blocked. You want to see it real quick? So, let's see. I go on Instagram.
So all you did was expose him, and the way he reacted, that got you banned.
Well, Instagram saw the violent language. It's probably some computer system that read it, but it shouldn't have been on the network anyway, just because of the. But so here I try to go on Instagram Live, and it says checking connection, and then it says this.
Blocked from sharing live video. Posts from your account have recently been removed for going against our community guidelines. So live video sharing has been temporarily blocked. LOL. Yeah,
so I don't know. It's been already like 17 days.
Why don't you do a TikTok? Go open a TikTok, start up and go live over there, run around. Then over there when they...
I don't really like TikTok that much, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah, they are very, very sensitive on TikTok. The slightest thing will get you...
what did you do?
The community guidelines.
Yeah. Why did you get banned?
One was stupid. It was a video of this guy riding a motorcycle, and then there was a curve, and then the truck flipped over and it nearly crushed him, but it didn't even fucking touch him. Yeah. But that showed like potential risk or violence or because it could have happened. It's like, oh shit, I better not put a man and a woman walking towards each other because they're gonna bring that down too.
Sure.
Because of what could have happened.
Yeah. I've been banned on TikTok too.
Huh?
I'm not banned on TikTok. I got some videos blocked.
Yeah.
On TikTok, yeah.
Yeah, it gets weird. At some point, you're like all under the control of what they're going to allow you to, you think, what if you have your own outlet, like your own website?
Well, that's what I want to do. I want to have my own website. That's what I'm working on right now.
Yeah.
I'm working on my own website. I want most people to just go through my website. I want to have new content on there every day so that people could just go on my website. Email, and also I get emails. So
you secured the domain already? Meanwhile?
Oh yeah. It's already freightcaviar.com is already operating, but I'm in the currently I'm working on a new design that's gonna look awesome, and it's gonna have daily updated content, which I think I'm really looking forward to that. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a little bit different. So yeah.
But what led to the decision though? Like brokering, you got bored of it, or what happened?
Got burnt out, man. It's stressful.
It is?
It's stressful. I also wanted to start my own thing. And I was at a time and place where I was like, it's a good time to take a risk. I don't have any family. I was living out in Ukraine then. I was working for an American freight brokerage in Ukraine. So I was like, I had some savings, and I was like really tired from working. I didn't have any equity in the company. So I was like, okay, like I might as well give it a shot right now. I had a few opportunities to open a freight brokerage. So I opened a freight brokerage, and it's not easy. Thought it'd be easier than it actually was. I guess the hardest part is actually getting the customer, because once you have the customer, you can more or less cover it. But if you go right now, if you open like an MC, people like think like brokers make so much money. It's like, yeah, you could make a lot of money if you have a lot of customers and you have the whole system in place, cash flow system, because customers treat brokers like a bank, where let's say like a broker will take a load from a customer. The customer, sometimes if they're a high paying, like a large shipper, they won't pay for like 90 to 120 days. Yet the broker has to pay the trucking company or factoring company within 30 days. So if you don't have that cash flow, then you're screwed. Like, you're essentially operating as a bank and an operations system. So like, if you're a small guy, you can only work with small shippers, because small shippers pay quick. for the most part. They pay much quicker than large shippers do. But the small shippers have less freight, and they always try to save money because they're small, whereas large shippers have like money to spend on if the load has to really move. So I guess it's definitely a lot more difficult to run out brokerage like I did. So in the meantime, I was just doing Freight Caviar. I was just having fun with it. I just had a knee injury, and I was like, this is gonna be fun. So we just that's what I ended up doing. I started doing Freight Caviar. It just came out of nowhere. I was like, I'm gonna make some freight memes, and it was fun. I saw how like powerful it was in terms of like getting people from like the industry, freight brokers, dispatchers, trucking companies, trucking company owners, like, or drivers, getting all in this community where I could talk to people, that are in the industry that I work in, and it's been cool. It's been fun, right? I've been trying to get out. I want to have like a newsletter, like a cool newsletter. It's kind of like my dream. So yeah, Freight Caviar is definitely like my little baby that I want to like blow up and make it. I want to make it like for dispatchers and brokers have an outlet to like, talk
shit.
I mean, it's not like a platform to talk shit. What I would want is to create kind of like a, Carrier 411. Have you heard of that before?
No.
It's where you go freight guard companies. So like, let's say like all you were doing container and drayage, but like let's say like you get a load from Los Angeles to California and you give it to someone with a truck, but they ended up sending it on a container and railing it, and it comes 5 days late. You go on the site and you complain about them. You put a freight guard on them, and like freight guards could range from. There's different things you could freight guard someone for, but the worst ones are like unethical behavior, fraud, double broker, all of these. To get freight guarded for double brokering or for...
I want you to be comfortable. Sorry, it was too close to you.
Very,
you know what I mean?
Very uncomfortable right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But with this freight guard stuff, there's Carrier 411, and brokers pay a lot of money to use it, and I'm like, why don't I just make like a free one on Freight Caviar, or have like a free version and then like charge a little bit extra for like the pro version. So that's something I'm going to work on. I'm not going to give out more details right now, but I think I could create something that's kind of simple and, what's up?
Is it like a Yelp?
It'd be
another one would be like
it'd be like a Yelp for carriers, right, and brokers. So that's what I want to have.
But how respectable is it? Like where it matters what score you have there? Like is it
So it depends on. I don't have anything yet, right? But if I were to do it, I'd have to set something up that makes it reliable.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, let's compare it to a credit score. Like,
sure.
How good someone is to pay. Like, versus someone talking shit and just saying this guy doesn't pay on time. Compared to, like, the credit score is legit all across. Like, and it's more valid, that argument.
Yeah. I mean, people have credit scores with 28 days to pay, but yet if you don't remind them 5 times, they'll pay 40, 50 days, right? So like credit scores could mean stuff, especially credit scores are important to factoring companies. But when you're working with people that don't work with factoring companies, like the previous company I worked for, we used to have like a stack where it was like pay ASAP, and these are like all the factoring companies that we gotta pay them ASAP because that's the people that give out credits, like report days to pay, credit scores like that. But then if you have like, let's say you have an owner operator or a trucking company that doesn't use factoring, those are the last invoices to pay. I mean, that's because it's all about cash flow. So I guess it's like, if you're a factoring company, you'll get paid quick. The credit score matters a lot. But if you're an owner operator trucking company, like, I mean, it's important still, and it's years in business is important. But so
sometimes they just pay faster because they literally have to, not because that's their style, and then they take their time. If they could take their time, they will.
If it affects their credit score, they'll take it seriously. But not every invoice affects your credit score. It's only the big ones, like the ones that report companies. So, I mean, it really just, I guess, depends, right? But what I would be doing is, cheaper hopefully, and something that's a cool place, maybe a place to chat. I have a chat room, so I have 3,500 people in my chat room talking freight, like booking freight. So
how do you control what's going on in that chat?
I just let it run.
Yeah.
I honestly, I don't go on anymore. I have now 4 chats. Like
they keep telling you to fuck off too.
Dude, I
had a there's a Facebook group, Kontaineroz. Yeah. We try to set up rules and stuff, but people don't like being told what to do. And I haven't been on it in months.
You have to control it, right? You have to be able to spend time on it. It's time consuming. Like I had so many notifications from Telegram chat, and it was just the most annoying thing. So I just turned off all notifications, and I don't know. I mean, I have now 4 chats. I have a main chat, then I have a truck booking chat, I have a load booking chat, and I have a carrier 411 chat. So and those all have 1,000 each, and the main one has 3,500 people. So controlling that, I can't control that. I don't have time for that.
But how are you gonna do it if one? I tried to do one for chassis only, like whoever had a chassis, and I tried to do one, different categories as well. But there's always someone that will throw in unrelatable shit to one. So why do all those categories when you can just have one where everything's in there? They're gonna do it anyways.
So what happens is that when there's a load board that goes down like DAT, because DAT is, have you heard of DAT?
Yeah.
So DAT is huge load board, and when DAT goes down, which it's gone down in the past a few times, where there's days, I had a day where when I just had one chat where there was 10,000 messages being sent in my chat room in one day, 10,000 chat, because the DAT was down. And it's uncontrollable. It's crazy because you get a chat every second, right? I even limited people to sending one chat every 5 or 15 minutes, so that because if people were allowed to chat every second, it was just crazy. You can't control it. So people asked me to create different ones, like load board, truck. It came out of the fact that it was just uncontrollable chaos. So it's well, if I might as well have one where people just post trucks, one where they post loads, And people obviously break rules, right? I mean, it's I'm not going to control it. Especially, let's just say, for example, the DAT went down again. I would, once again, have some rules just because I want to make it more useful for people. But imagine if you could just go on FreightCaviar.com and whoever's a FreightCaviar.com member, you could chat to, you could discuss lanes, you could, if there's a chat like that, that's difficult to build, right? It's not difficult to build, but you gotta have the right people, you gotta have the right investment to do that. But that'd be something that would be cool, kind of connects the broker and dispatcher and just connects the industry in a cool way. It's kind of like a social media network for
I was gonna say that
for brokers and dispatchers, right? But it's also
the freight book.
I'm just gonna go with Freight Caviar. I'm gonna do whatever I do in life. I'm just add caviar to it. So that's gonna be my motto. If I'm gonna open up my own company, but just do Paul Caviar. Paul's Caviar.
You love
PJ Caviar.
The caviar or what? What?
No, dude.
Where did that name come from?
You listen to the Rap Caviar playlist on Spotify?
I've heard of it, but no.
There's a Rap Caviar playlist on Spotify, and I was I was driving down one day. Damn, I was called. My name was Shipping Pallets before that. It's a year ago, April, May. This was exactly a year ago. And I was driving down. I was listening to Rap Caviar. I'm damn, Freight Caviar sounds like a dope name. And I'm from Eastern Europe, and in Eastern Europe, especially Ukraine, Russia, there's so many people that eat caviar. It's part of their culture, right? I'm out here. I'm talking. These are top. I talk a lot about Ukraine and my time out there, outsourcing. I went to Armenia with Derek and Tom, and so caviar just kind of explains what I do, who I am, my uniqueness in a cool way. And it's also freight jokes, but it's Freight Caviar. It's all it defines what I'm doing really well. Yeah,
you go get your little plate of info or
your Kontaineroz. You're all about the container game and the trade stuff. I'm all about just the freight broker aspect. So it's it's dope that we have our own unique company brand.
Yeah.
That is us. Your Kontaineroz, I'm Freight Caviar. People were meeting me at the conference.
Are they calling you your name?
People were oh, are you Freight Caviar at the conference?
Yeah, so that's your name now.
That's my name, Freight Caviar. I'm I'm fucking Freight Caviar. It's
you should try to order a drink like that at Starbucks. They probably fucked that up.
I gotta do. That's good. That's good content, Derek. We're gonna go to Starbucks.
We're gonna do it. It's literally
we're gonna
across the street.
And you're gonna do Kontaineroz, and we're gonna have Derek film it.
Let's have a little bet or something. Whose name will they fuck up?
Let's do it. I love that. We're gonna take this clip out, and we're gonna then it's gonna go right to the.
You're gonna do whatever you want with your clip. I'm gonna do whatever I want with my clip.
No.
No,
definitely.
the camera dude is How do you say nervous in your language?
Nervous. He's niespokojny.
Niespokojny? He says yes, guys. He says yes.
Yeah.
All right.
So, but yeah, dude.
See how ideas come to life just like that. Like we were just chopping it up.
Yeah, it's amazing. We're out here in San Pedro, California. I went to San Pedro Sula in Honduras. I was out there in 2015.
I was like, this guy traveled in the future? What? You said you were there in 2024, bro.
2014, I said.
Oh, no, 2024, bro.
Well, we recorded the audio, so we'll
either you're crazy or I'm crazy.
You know,
someone fucked up.
You always, like, whenever you have that argument with your brother or sister, you know, like, how you get that kind of spat, it'd be like, damn, I wish I recorded it. And here we actually recorded it. It's like the first time in my life we're like, damn, we could actually check what I said.
You're going to invest the time to prove me wrong? Or you're gonna make him suffer?
Well, we're gonna be editing it. Well, he's gonna be editing it. I'm gonna make Derek show me that clip. Did I say 2014 or 2024? But yeah, so I went to San Pedro Sula in 2015. Where are you? You're from Mexico?
You said 2014 now.
2015.
Damn it. Okay, what?
Are you Mexican?
That is what?
What?
Why would you assume that? I'm half Salvadoran and half Mexican.
Okay.
No, my mom is Salvadoran.
Yeah.
El Salvador.
Okay. Right next to Honduras.
My dad is,
Right next to Honduras. Next to Honduras.
Oh, they said right in Honduras. No, yeah, my dad is Mexican from Uruapan, Michoacan.
Okay.
Where you probably get your avocados from, you know what I'm saying?
Those are Mexican avocados, man. Avocados from Mexico. I love those commercials. Avocados from Mexico.
The cartels fucked up that game out there, though. It's like, yeah, I forgot what the name of that was on Netflix. Netflix has all kinds of interesting documentaries, but there was one about avocados.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah,
I've seen that one. Yeah.
This guy. Well, anyways, we're gonna go way off topic, but yeah.
But yeah, the cartel though. Is the cartel involved in drayage?
No.
I
don't know.
You don't know?
There used to be a Línea Mexicana, a steamship line.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to it. They were like these military green looking containers. Literally said Línea Mexicana.
Okay.
I wonder what happened.
Gone?
I'm gonna write that down too.
They don't. Okay. Línea Mexicana.
Yeah.
Okay.
But okay, we go all over the place sometimes.
Yeah, it's all good. I gotta
say, I really like that name. I like that name.
Freight Caviar?
Yeah, it's way cooler than shipping pallet.
Yeah,
it's like so basic, you know.
It's so basic. It's
shipping
so basic. Shipping pallets.
Yeah.
But people didn't like it at first. But sometimes you gotta trust your gut, you know.
Oh, Freight Caviar.
People do when I changed my name. People were like, "Why did you change your name?" I had like 5,000 or 6,000 followers then, and I'm like, you know. And then I thought for a second, like, shit. I mean, I'm gonna ask them. I'm gonna just like. I mean, I knew like I don't want to change it because I love the name.
Yeah.
And then like I put it on a poll on Instagram, and I was like, would you prefer for me to be shipping pallets or Freight Caviar? And out of 1,000 votes, 800 people voted for shipping pallets. Only 200 people voted for Freight Caviar, but I knew Freight Caviar was it. And ever since then, people have come to love it. It's kind of like when you get a new Apple update, you don't like it at first, and then all of a sudden, like in a couple of days, like, damn, this Apple update's awesome. Or like whenever it comes to...
Yeah, it's on the branding and how you make it appealing.
And like people won't accept... A lot of people won't accept it at first. Won't see, like there's early adopters. There's early adopters to anything that's out there. And I don't, have you heard of those like early adopters? And there's like the second... Like it goes like... It's split up where like 20% of the people are early adopters and they like new stuff. They change it. Whereas most people fit right in the middle. So the early adopters liked it, which was exactly the 20% of people that liked it. So it's kind of funny how that actually...
But in the end, like if you had value, then they really had no say in the name because they're going to stay there for the value, not the name.
Sure. But I think right now, if I were to do a poll, it would be 99% Freight Caviar.
That would be good content. Imagine. If you had all the content from back then, you're like, when you believe in something and everyone goes against it.
Yeah.
Then once you make it, you go back and then everybody will like Freight Caviar. So imagine if you had not done it.
That's actually great. Wait, I should do maybe a poll where I should be like...
A poll, like if you're going to switch it back to shipping pallet.
I think 99% would say Freight Caviar. I could actually do it right now.
And you could compare it. That would be epic.
I could put it up right now and we could check it.
Yeah. The power of believing in yourself.
Yeah. Should I change my name back to shipping pallets? Yes or no?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. What do you guys say? I say fuck no. That name was
It's just basic. But, it came out of, like, I was just in a taxi. I'm like, well, I was going to go open up a freight brokerage and ship pallets. And I'm like, whatever, just shipping pallets. I mean, it worked, until it came up with Freight Caviar. If I had to wait until I come up with Freight Caviar, I would have wasted 6 months. I had 6,000 followers at that point, right? So I got up to 6,000 followers was just shipping pallets. And, like, sometimes it's better not to have the best name. You could always change your name,
Yeah. But the name isn't everything. Your name can be, hey, yo, what up? It's me. My name is the greatest rapper of all time.
Yeah.
And be whack as fuck. So the name isn't everything,
The name, the name's not everything. I think it adds a nice touch to, like a lot of people like my name. They've come up to me and like they tell me the name's great. And like they ask me how I came up with the name, and it's
Paul is a good name.
Like Paul Bernard, but like I named my first freight brokerage Bang Bang Freight, and everyone laughed at it. Bang Bang Freight. What do you think? What do you think of that name? Bang Bang Freight, BBF.
Oh, so that was the acronym you went with, or
I went with the acronym because I was kind of embarrassed by Bang Bang Freight.
But at first, you would have wanted it to be Bang Bang Freight.
Well, I did. I named my first brokerage Bang Bang Freight. It operated for 3 months, but 4 months.
But then you switched to BBF, or that's just how you.
I was always BBF. I was like doing Bang Bang Freight. It's BBF. Like people like I'd be like, oh, this is spot from BBF. But like the acronym would be Bang Bang Freight. What do you think of Bang Bang Freight? Kind of seems like childish a little bit, or what?
No, it sounds like if you fuck up this load, I'm gonna shoot you. Bang bang.
Bang Bang Freight. Well, I mean, it's.
No, what did it mean to you then? Because
we used to always in my previous brokerage, there was this customer sales rep who like had Coca-Cola and like all these big customers, and whenever he'd cover a load, he'd be like bang bang. That was what he said, right? He would say
that was his little.
It was his saying. He was always say bang bang, and I was like, well, Bang Bang Freight. Just came out of nowhere. You're just kind of tossing around ideas, and it's definitely a funny sounding name, Bang Bang Freight. But she didn't do that bad. But I wasn't feeling it. So I left.
That matters a lot. If you're not feeling it, it's not gonna go nowhere.
Yeah. Tell me about it. I've been feeling it. Same again. But yeah.
What other ventures you had like that where you trying out new things and trying to start something?
I own a restaurant in Poland.
You owned?
I currently own a restaurant. Yeah. So Derek was actually a delivery driver at the restaurant.
Oh, that's nice.
Derek was a delivery driver.
Derek, come over here. Come over here.
Derek's camera shy. Camera shy. He I honestly, I wanted to record him yesterday and interview him because it'd be great footage if I just interviewed Derek.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude,
you know what? Fuck that. I'm gonna piss him off.
Oh, we got Derek behind the scene.
We got it.
We got Derek.
Feel, huh? People coming up to you with the camera. Yes.
Derek was filming someone yesterday in Santa Monica Beach, and the guy was like, "Don't fucking film me. If you film me, you owe me money." And Derek shit his pants right there.
No, Derek said, "Yeah." Hey, is this straight?
But
all love, my friend.
That was great. Okay, so Derek was a delivery driver at the restaurant that I own.
Derek got exposed.
Derek TMZ. But
I'll put his IG out there. You got IG, Derek?
IG, yeah. He's Daro TV.
All you ladies that got it, that took a quick look at this hardworking man. We're gonna put him out there.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, the restaurant. Yeah, please tell me you sell caviar.
Dude, I kind of should have a caviar burger. I have burgers and pizza. It's like a fast food joint. And Derek actually was making videos for it, like burgers, pizza. And like one day, I don't know, I found out that he does filming and stuff, and I want to go to Armenia and do like a little docu-series. Yeah. I'm like, Derek, I'll pay for your flight to Armenia. And you got to film everything and you got to edit it. He's like, cool, let's do it.
How far is that from Poland?
It's like we had to fly through Vienna. I mean, it was like an hour flight to Vienna, then 3.5 hours from Vienna. So it was like 4.5 hours of flying.
In what country is all this in?
It's Armenia.
Armenia,
yeah.
Okay.
It's just north of Iran. It's bordered by Georgia, Azerbaijan, Iran, and Turkey. Those are the borders it has. It's like so.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, Derek, come out to Armenia. We'll film some content. It was his first time on an airplane in November. 5 months ago, it was Derek's first time on an airplane.
It's a go-getter.
And then I was like, Derek, like 3 weeks ago, I'm like, Derek, you want to go to America? Derek's never been to America before. And he just was like, fuck yeah, I want to go to America. He's got an iPhone now. He's all American. He bought a Columbia shirt at the Marshalls.
We caught that on film. Yeah, we got it.
Yeah. He became a lot more American now because he was super Polish when he came here, and I've been Americanizing him ever since then. So, yeah. You
gotta take him to In-N-Out Burger.
It was the first stop when we landed.
Oh, are you serious?
Oh, dude, I always go to the LAX. In-N-Out. Every time I've been to LAX In-N-Out is the place to go.
Yeah.
Before and after your flight.
What's have you had the combo like 4x4, 6x6?
They have a 6x6?
Yeah, they put a limit. 6x6 is the most you could get.
6 double stacked?
Yeah, 6x6.
So you get 12 patties.
I think you get 6 patties.
It's still crazy.
6x6. Yeah, whatever she said.
Who's out there?
I don't know.
She calling us?
Nah.
So we should do that too. We should go to Starbucks and we gotta go get the 6x6 and film all of it with Derek. Derek, just make sure you have enough battery and space for lots of filming tonight. So we're gonna be filming for probably 2 more hours.
There used to be no limit, so I think these college kids or high school kids went and did a fucking prank or something.
What'd they do?
Well, I wouldn't say a prank, but they were just wilding out. They ordered 100 by 100.
Okay.
And I think that's what made them be like, fuck this. There's a limit. 6x6.
Okay. So,
yeah. You guys are learning a lot of stuff.
Dude, Derek's learned so much. Man, I should have been drinking this water bottle. It's been picking up on the sound. But, yeah, learning a lot, dude.
You're good.
Yeah, learning a lot. I love how you take notes. It's awesome.
No, I tried to...
Like how you before.
Yeah, at first I was like, oh, they're gonna say that I take notes. I ain't nothing wrong with taking notes. I see.
Oh, it's good. It's professional.
Fucking, even the president uses a teleprompter from time to time. You know, like.
No, it's good. It means that you're prepared and you want to, you know some stuff. You know, you're not just doing it on a whim. I should learn that.
No, don't give me praise just yet, because some of these questions are like, okay, if it's like. It could be one question. I could ask 10 people the meaning of life, and it's not going to always be the same answer.
Yeah.
So that's why some are very, like, general questions, if that's an appropriate way of saying it. Like,
sure.
But it'll be a different outcome based on your experience with those scenarios. So, yeah. But, yeah, of course, I had a little twist in it with the little stuff that I do know sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's work in progress. I never thought I would be, like, talking to people, like, you know what I mean?
Your own radio show,
because I'm a little shy, you know?
You were not shy when the cameras turned on here.
I mean, I figured...
Am I talking correctly right now? Or am I
just speaking to the mic. Look, I even wrote it down there for you guys. I don't know if you saw that. Yeah.
Oh, it says right here.
Yeah, it does.
Speak into the mic.
Yeah.
So...
You don't have to deal with this, huh? When you do yours, there's like a lot of Zoom stuff or what?
Yeah, because I live in Poland, you know. I wish I had this. This is awesome.
Yeah.
It's so much better.
So, yeah, anyways. Fuck. What were we saying? You're my tallest guest, bro. I'm like...
I know.
How tall are you?
6'8".
6'8".
Yeah, I'm 6'8". I'm tall.
Over there, is there the stereotype like over here that because you're tall, you should play basketball or some shit like that?
I mean, people ask me how tall I am if I play basketball.
You get tired of that?
You know, more people in America ask me that than they do in Poland. It's kind of interesting. Like, people in Poland like don't seem to notice my height, whereas people in America like all notice my height.
So there's a lot of tall people in Poland.
There's not like a lot of people like my height, but I guess it's just like people.
They just don't worry about stupid shit. Like
they don't ask that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
it's just like it's part of like American culture to be like asking that kind of stuff. You know, like Americans are very open, very like social.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so like stuff about personal appearance over there is more respectful. Like they're not gonna bring it up. Like.
I don't think that I think it's more about like they just don't want to talk to you.
Oh fuck.
I don't know. Maybe it's not like that. Like people are nice. People are nice out there. I'm just saying like if someone might say if like no one would say it on the street, you know, but if it's like friends or family, like they might say it in terms of social. But like Here it's more like people actually say it like if like on the street sometimes. You know, like I would never get that in Poland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Different cultures.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, you probably have the same thing when you go to Mexico or El Salvador. Have you been there before?
a couple times.
Yeah.
Over there, it's like, oh, you came from El Norte, like you came from North America.
Yeah.
That's like, oh my God, you came from North America.
Yeah. That's same in Poland. Same in Ukraine. Same in Armenia. It's
You mentioned earlier the Armenian. You went to Armenia, right? Armenia.
Yeah, I went to Armenia.
And there's a lot of should I say it? They're popular for a lot of double brokering.
Well,
triple, quadruple. Where does this come from? This Slavlana. How do you pronounce it?
Svetlana.
Yeah, is that like
It's a popular name
for dispatchers?
Yeah, I mean it's popular. Russian Ukrainian name is popular. Like it's.
Why is she so violent?
She's violent.
She looks like she don't fuck around. You know, like.
You know, it's they're strong. Svetlanas are strong, and they put up. They'll deal with like all the bullshit of logistics, and it's dispatcher Svetlana. I think USA Transportation is the one who started that. I started a couple of them, and then USA Transportation started doing that one. And
it's almost like as popular as like when people say you're being a Karen right now.
It's
getting
funny.
there.
Yeah. It's funny, right? And it fits well with the industry. And there's people that do like DAT posts with like dispatchers with Lana, something like that. So yeah, it brings some fun into the industry, right? I mean, that's kind of like that's been always like my goal to make logistics more fun and like.
Yeah. What about the solo Sergey?
Strong solo Sergey.
Oh, Sergey. Sorry.
So I started that, but it's funny. Or at least like my office started that back in Kiev in Ukraine. We started saying Strong Solo Sergey, and then USA Transportation picked it up, and like people around the industry picked it up. So it's kind of funny. I wish I could have copyrighted it.
You think so? Yeah.
just for fun. Just
how can you prove it that you really did that?
I can't now. It just it's not like really matters at the end of the day. It's still funny, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's. I haven't done a lot of Strong Solo Sergey memes recently. Strong Solo Sergey's kind of died out. So
back to brokering. When it comes to a bond.
Okay. What about a bond?
Well, that was a sudden change, or what?
You're going to talk about something I don't know much about, but it's all good.
The bond.
The bond to get a brokerage.
Yeah, the brokerage has to have a bond.
Yeah.
That if you
do anything, you could go after a bond. Yeah.
So who is that for? That's to protect the carrier from bad brokers, or who benefits from that?
It seems like it. Brokers. I've been threatened before that carriers will go after like the company's bond that I worked for. I think it's more of like a longer process where you have to prove yourself. Obviously, you can't just go after someone's bond without proof, and I'm not sure how expensive it could be, or. But it happens sometimes, right? Trucking companies do it. I don't know like why, or I know why. I just don't understand like the process of the whole thing, right? So
okay, so like how to set it up and all that stuff. That's someone else did that
to go after someone's bond, or to set up an actual bond.
Yeah,
just go through like your insurance broker and insurance provider. You could get a bond through them, or actually. So
like places that do insurance, like for my semi truck, they might know who can do a bond for a freight brokerage.
Yeah. Are you trying to open up a freight brokerage?
No, it's just I had someone yesterday.
Yeah.
They're getting into that.
Okay.
And they wanted to learn more about that.
There's a lot of resources online. I feel like if you Google it, there's a lot of like people writing about it, and so it could be on there.
Well, some people want to hear it. They don't want to go on Google. I thought you would tell them.
I hope I direct them in the right way.
All right. Thank you, Paul. Next question.
That got a little weird.
Yeah. So, and the claim, the bond, how can someone put a claim? How does that work?
Honestly, the best advice I could give is to just Google it.
But if you were to get a bond right now, well, No, I'm just fucking with you, man.
If I were to get a bond right now, I'd hit up an insurance freight broker. I would hit up someone that's either open up a freight brokerage, knows how to open up a freight brokerage. There's services that will do everything for you. You pay them a service, they'll take everything up, and it's not even like that much. You're only paying like maybe $150 for the service. So it's like I'd rather just pay that and have it done with, right? Than
that does sound good. Like do it right the first time instead of having to fix shit. Can the customer as well maybe put a claim on the bond? You know, if the customer. All right, I'll skip all that. If you guys want to know more, check out Google, man. You gotta Google some shit.
There's people
we don't have all the answers all the time.
Yeah, there's people that take care, like know about that. That's their expertise.
How do I become a broker?
To become a freight broker, like the way I did it was my buddy's dad in college, he owned a freight brokerage, and he was like, Paul, if you want to become a freight broker, you could become a freight broker. And I became a freight broker. I didn't get paid. I barely got paid anything for the first year, to be honest. It was just like all learning and stuff. Just had a low ass salary and some commission. I was getting screwed on, but I learned a lot. You know, that's how I became a freight broker. And then I went and I quit that, and I went to a different company, and I worked hard there, and then they sent me to Ukraine. But in terms of becoming a freight broker, if someone wants to become a freight broker right now, I would take a course. There's a few good courses online, or I'll just apply to freight brokerages. Freight brokerages are hiring right now, and you know, if you could prove that you could learn something, or if you could take a course online and then apply to a place to be best. A lot of people like they watch like these freight brokerage courses and stuff, and they're like, oh, they want to open up a freight brokerage because it seems like an easy way to make money, but it's not easy, and it requires a lot of cash flow. It requires the right experience. But a lot of people seem to be like, oh, I'm gonna watch this course and I'm gonna become a freight broker, and I wouldn't recommend that. You should go work for someone and do it for some time before you become a freight broker on your own.
Mm-hmm. So it might not be worth it because there's a lot of, for example, this scenario, like let's just say, make up a number, right? Like 100 loads, and you're gonna profit $100 off of each one. That's like 10 grand, but that's 100 things that could go wrong. So
also, like, okay, you're gonna make $100, but what is a profit margin? Because profit margin is super important. Just because, like, let's say like those loads like are $3,000 revenue, and you're only making $100.
Okay.
Which is like 3%. You know, 3% is nothing. Like, you can't survive off that, and it's gonna like. So let's just say, for example, those are all $3,000, and you make $100 on all of them. You made 3% of profit, which is you should be making around like 15 to 20% at least. But you got 3%. I mean, if you have a lot of money, that's fine. You could cash flow it. You're still making 3%, and you gotta pay for everything. It's gonna cost a lot more than that. But it's a cash flow business, and so if you make that, like, you're gonna pay these trucking companies $3,000 times 100, $3,000 loads times 100. That's what is that? 300,000.
Sounds like it.
That's 300,000 altogether, right? So if you have $300,000, you're gonna pay these companies within 30 days as a freight broker. So that money's gone, and you're not gonna get that back. Maybe potentially for another 3 months, 4 months. So you got this big hole, cash flow hole. So like, if you gotta just have a lot of cash. If you have a lot of cash, you're good, right? Like, I think I was saying this earlier, that like brokers are just like a banking system for customers, because customers use brokers to not have, like, it's good for cash flow reasons. So I mean, that's why you gotta have a lot of cash. If you have a lot of cash, it's a good way to make more money. But you're gonna have to spend a lot of money first, like actually hiring the right people that know sales, that have customers. Like, if you have no customers or experience in the industry, going out to get a customer is gonna be it's gonna be a pain in the ass. And I'm not saying it's not gonna happen. If you really try, work hard, it could happen. But to get in with a large customer that you can make a lot of money off of, it's not easy. A lot of people are trying to do it.
They can't just get like a factoring company.
Well, it's not even about the factoring company. Setting up with the customer is gonna be tough, and a lot of factoring companies don't deal with brokers. It's difficult to find a factoring company that will accept a broker's invoices. They'll accept you if you have a trucking company. So if I have a trucking company, I could get my brokerage loads factored if I have the trucking company sign up with them. So, I mean, there's ways to do it. I'm not gonna say there aren't. There's definitely ways to do it. It ain't easy, but okay. For example, if you have a factoring company, okay, you're making 3% margin off the profit, but if there's factoring companies that will take 1% off the top, no, 3% off the top. So they're going to take 3%. They're going to automatically take $100 from the load. So you would end up with zero profit.
Oh yeah, and with that scenario.
Yeah. And then, so you'd be working for free. So that's why, I mean, like,
shit.
It's not easy. People think it's easy. People are like, oh, you're just sitting in front of a computer and you're working. If you're working for a large company, yeah, they have everything set up. They have the whole infrastructure that makes it easy. But to get that infrastructure built, I mean, it takes money and it takes experience. It takes the right salespeople. You know, there's so many working parts to it that makes it, you know, expensive. It's not easy. As easy as people like it to be. And because so many people are trying to do it, there's so many people that you're competing against to get customers.
I guess it just sounds easy because it's like, it gives the impression that there's less liabilities because you don't have trucks. Yeah. You know,
there's less liability, but because you have less liability, it's difficult to compete with people. So here's the thing: there's thousands and thousands of freight brokers, and people in the last few years, there's a lot more brokerages that are opening up.
Yeah,
and it's like these shippers, they're all getting bombarded, right, with messages from these brokers trying to get their business. Like every shipper in America has freight brokers reaching out to them to get their business, and it's all relationship business. And if you're friends with the shipper, you're gonna get their business. You're gonna make good money, and that's honestly all it boils down to is being a friend with the shipper, building a relationship, and then actually doing a good job with the freight. So it's a very personal, like, relationship business.
So how would you recommend a new broker gets customers?
A new freight broker to get customers? So actually, I've talked to shippers, and then lately I've had a few people, like shippers, on my podcast. I had the senior director of Walmart Logistics.
Wow.
On my podcast.
Yeah.
He's great. Then I had this other guy that does shipping. Shout out to Jake Mcpaul out of Brooklyn, New York. He does shipping. He used to be a broker, but he ships mushrooms. Right, and essentially, he was telling me that he gets most of the brokers that he works with. Either he meets them at conferences, so there's like some conferences that shippers go to where they want to learn more. So you meet them at conferences. It's a good place to connect, right? It's a good place to have like an in-person meeting. And then he normally, like, he's had a few people come up to his actual shipping place in Philly, his shipping office. Yeah, and that's how he got their business. So like,
they want to see what you're about then too.
Here's the thing: to anyone that's interested in becoming a freight broker, I mean, you're dealing with a lot of competition. A lot of people that are on the phone nonstop calling these shippers and trying to get their business. Like, shippers don't want to talk to new freight brokers. They have I'm not saying you're not going to do it. It just takes a lot of work. It's not easy. They're
comfortable too with who they are sometimes.
Yeah.
Who they're with already.
You know, maybe 20 years ago would have been like the best time where you could just get like shipper by shipper, because there weren't that many brokers out. So you could set up with them. Nowadays, you're dealing with a lot of competition. And like when it comes to competition, you either want to have people that have worked with these shippers before that at a different company. So you hire someone that's been a good salesperson somewhere else that has contacts. He comes in and he has already relationships with them. But those people are very expensive, the ones that are good. But they're also, if you have the cash, they're worth it because they'll bring you more business, and you could, you know, live off of that. Yeah. But if you're in America and you're able to like just, you got to have like a niche, like a specialty or something. You can't just be trying to do anything and anywhere. Like, figure out if it's like, let's say you're from LA, figure out, like, make sure you have relationships built out with like LA trucking companies, and you just go door to door these shippers and try to find some business with them, right? See if you could specialize in something that's like, it could be your own, you know, like if you know that a shipper needs help with like some reefer box truckloads, like, I'll be like, you know, figure out that business, source those companies in LA that could do that. So it's all about finding your own niche, and actually, like, you know, you gotta people, they get bombarded with LinkedIn messages and emails and all this stuff. So shippers, it's not easy to get in with shippers, but you got to be persistent, and you gotta have your own little niche that you could sell, and then you want to go to these companies, go door to door, go to conferences, connect with people.
Yeah. Have those business cards handy as well. Make your little social media look appealing, right?
Definitely.
What is double brokering, and what's the most that it can go to? Triple, quadruple? What's the worst you've heard of? Or
Well, double brokering is just a trucking company or a registered trucking company calling a broker, telling them they have a truck, and then giving that load to someone else. I mean, loads do get triple brokered or quadruple brokered. I mean, it doesn't happen that often because a lot of double brokers won't work with double brokers because they know who they are. But I mean, sometimes what happens is like a double broker will take the load, they'll sell it to someone else for more, and then they'll get paid by the broker, and then ignore the other trucking company. So there's like some shady stuff that goes on. I mean, there's a lot of good double brokers out there that I've talked to, and they do a good job. They work hard. There's also, like people that I don't know, like that could do some scummy stuff. It's a shady industry.
But there could be a big risk, right? If something happens with whoever,
let's say like
accident or something.
Yeah, let's say like you're hauling like a specific like metal or some chemicals, hazmat stuff like that, and you double broker it out. What happens is like if you don't do compliance properly and you actually give it to this double broker, and that double broker gives it to some random trucking company that's not insured for hazmat, not insured for whatever you're shipping, then when there's an insurance claim and the broker is responsible, because the broker has responsibility when it comes to giving the load,
to do his due diligence.
Due diligence, exactly. Like in the compliance behind it. So the broker could get blamed, for whatever happens, and then they have a big payout to make or whatever if something were drastic to happen, the broker. So it's definitely, you got to be careful for it.
Can it be so serious that they even go out of business, or it depends on their capital?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. You could definitely. I know C.H. Robinson got to pay a huge fine. That was like, not exactly sure how much it cost, but it was like, I think like a ton of money. Like back in the day, C.H. Robinson, I think there was like the tracker or the broker kind of like told the driver to hurry up, and then the driver caused an accident somewhere. Like these details are foggy right now, but I know that C.H. Robinson had to pay like a lot of money, and they're a publicly traded company, so they have a lot of money, and they could finance that.
Why do you think most truckers might dislike brokers, or there's a bad what word can I use? Like,
I think like brokers could be assholes, and they don't understand like the driver's like position. Sometimes, like when you're behind a computer, you've never worked as a driver, right? So there's like a lot of like misunderstandings because like, these brokers sometimes are just like they don't take into account, like they have their own little cozy life, and they live into like this bubble of theirs, and they don't like tend to think about the driver. Being a broker is not like, it gets stressful sometimes, and there's assholes in the industry where there's assholes everywhere. There's some drivers that are assholes, but a lot of the drivers I've dealt with are usually pretty nice, and like, but I think it just has to do with the fact that like they're used to like these kind of like cozy lifestyle, right? I mean, not cozy, they're just behind a desk and computer, and like they need their load covered for the customer, and just I think because it's all like via phone and telephone, and because of the fact that it's shipping, like there's so many things there's so many components to shipping and supply chain, and there's so many parts to it that if something's not working, then there just creates frustration in the system, right? And then one way or another, it like spills out, right? Because when you need a load, let's say you're picking up a load like a container, and the customer is like just battering the broker, like needs this container ASAP, and the broker is trying to like get the driver gets, it's like the driver can't do anything. It's just there's situations that become tense because the situation is just tense. It goes from the bottom down, right? The broker passes that tension and frustration on the driver, and drivers don't like it. They don't feel respected by it. So there's a few of those scenarios. So
yeah. Can you run a little scenario with a trucker negotiating with a broker? Like, what does that sound like most of the time?
You have to know your market. Like, if you know the market that you're in, if you're a trucker, same with a broker, if you know the market that you're in, and if you're flexible in where you want to go, it's like power to you, right? Let's say let's just say, for example, you live in Chicago and you're in Ohio. It's a Friday and you want to go see your family. You're gonna go back to Chicago no matter what. Even if there's no load, you're still going back to Chicago.
Yeah.
So if you see a load posted up for like Ohio, Cleveland to Chicago, and it's paying $600, it's fuel, whatever. You'll it's even better than going back empty. You'll just take it just to make something, right? So then like your negotiation power is lower because like you just want that load no matter what. You don't like it's just like you're going home. For example, but like let's say you're based out of Cleveland, Ohio, and you just want to have a load. You want to take a load somewhere that's paying good money. It's like you're gonna want like double that on the rate because you want to make something, right? You're going out of your city. So it really depends on knowing like what you want and knowing the market in that city that you're in. So like if you could go anywhere, whenever, and all you're looking is for miles or just to make money, I mean, you just have to figure out like if you're in a hot market, then you can milk it, right? You could quote brokers high rates and just tell them like this is where I need to be at, and you'll probably get something. But if you're in a slower market, it's like brokers have the winning hand. So just don't get upset. People get like feisty at each other. Like brokers get upset with drivers giving them crazy rates, and then drivers get upset with brokers giving them low rates. And it's just understanding like the market, understanding people like each customer is also different. Each customer is paying different. Each customer is more or less important for a broker. So like when brokers are quoting low, it's probably because the customer is not paying a lot, or it's because they're trying to make some money off of you. But don't get like frustrated. I mean, it's easy maybe to get frustrated, but it's like if the broker gives you a low rate, just be like, no thanks, whatever. It's like whatever. There's other brokers out there. So I guess it's knowing the market's so important. Like if you're in a hot area where loads are going, there's a lot. Like always check the load board, making sure to see like how many loads are posted, like which brokers are posting for how much. Because you want to come from like a place of knowledge, right? You don't want to play your own self.
Yeah. But if you're both going in a way that assuming that you don't want to, you know what I mean? Like let's say you go in super low, he goes in super high, like you're both kind of exaggerating. So how do we know what'll be the middle, so like,
well, I mean, in situations where I've worked in where I've had that, it's if someone quotes me like extremely high, like I'll probably just tell them like, hey, this is I'll tell them the best price I could do on that, right? I just tell the person, because there's always a price, like there's like, let's say I say $600, you say $1,200, but my absolute best is $900, but I can't cross $1 over $900. So I'd be like, all right, well, Luis, the best I could do is $900. It's absolute best. Just take it. You're going to take it or not? If you say, yeah, I'll take it, cool, we got a deal. If you say, hell no, it's way too low, I'm not going to, like, there's times when like you won't take a loss. So I might have had $1,000 in that load. And I'm like, I'm only going to take it if I make $100 or not, because it's not worth it. It's not worth it taking loads for $50, 25. It's not. You're literally going to go out of business if you do that. You have to make some money on it, and
15 to 20%.
You want to make 15%, like you're good. Like you don't want to go below 15 because like you're cutting up margin. Like there's a lot of not that much overhead compared to trucking, but there's overhead. There's employee costs, there's insurance costs, there's DAT. There's so many costs you have to add up every month that. And there's actually so much effort for each load. Look at Luis. The customer sent me this load. I quoted it. I give him a price. That's time right there. I take this load. I put it in my TMS. That's time right there, right? If it's me or someone else doing it, then someone has to sell that load. That's time right there. Then you have to track the load. That's time. Then you got to invoice it. When you add all this stuff up and all the processes in place, that's worth 15 to 20% because of the work put into it, right?
Yeah.
And then waiting for the money, paying the trucking company, waiting for that money, all that, accounting and stuff. Like you can't be selling yourself cheap, but there's a lot of people that, like a lot of large brokers that could do that, right? They're just volume. It's like they have all the systems in place. So you got to respect yourself too, and you got to find customers that appreciate what you do, because what you could sell on, what small brokers could sell on is service. Like large shippers, large brokers, they're missing the service aspect. Just like large trucking companies too. When you get too big, you could offer better prices, but the service isn't that great, especially when it comes to like a service side business like we're doing. You know, we're
even the drivers feel it. They become a number at that point.
Yeah, exactly. They become a number. So if you're a small guy, always sell the service aspect. And I mean, sometimes you'll take something for cheaper because you gotta make some kind of money. You know, like better something like a little bit than nothing. But like just
go at it knowing that there's always wiggle room. Then like the first number is usually not the final. Push back a little bit.
With shippers, yeah, it really depends. That's why what's the most important thing is always building that relationship. Like same goes with brokers and trucking companies. Like I used to have my trucking companies I had a good relationship with, and I worked with them. I took care of them. It was like a relationship where they helped me, I helped them. You know, when it's bad, I give them loads. When it's good, they take my loads. So at the end of the day, what I could really stress on is just trying to build that close relationship with people. You want to, even with shippers, if you're a broker, you want to get in with a shipper and become, so then you get like the actual rates. You get like maybe extra, like large shipper, and you're good friends with like them. Like, so yeah, I mean, that's the way to do it.
And in that conversation, your end goal as a broker is to get rid of it for as little as possible and keep as much, right? I mean, that's what you go in business for, to make a profit, obviously.
I mean, you want to make a profit, but you also want to be fair, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't just take loads and then try to sell them for cheaper than the market rate because you're not going to cover them, right? I mean, if you have 10 trucks in a market and each truck says $3,000, then, you know, it's just, that's why it's all about knowing the market. The market will tell you, right, the rates, you can't like be like, oh, I'm gonna take all these loads and sell them for cheaper. It's like, well, you guys got to find a truck that's gonna take them for those rates, right?
And you did your research with the quoting, with the whole your operating cost in a way. So the truckers should do the same. Like how you said, I can't do it for this much, I'll go out of business. Like you already have that visual.
Yeah.
And a lot of us don't do the math all the time, like of our operating cost.
Yeah.
We just roll.
Math is the most important. I mean, I'm not good at math, but getting someone that's good at math and accounting is the most important function in a business.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I would definitely stress counting stuff up, making sure that you have you're making the money, and you know, it's all supply and demand. You know, we don't live in a socialist state country where we have set rates. Yeah. In America, we used to have set rates. We used to have set rates, and brokers didn't exist until
deregulation.
Deregulation, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean that's some tips.
Thank you.
No problem. Can
a brokerage have their own authority? Operating authority? Can they have a truck?
If you get the right insurance, yeah, it's more expensive. If you get insurance for a brokerage and carrier, it's like a lot more expensive. But I know a lot of people just get separate brokerages and separate insurance, separate brokerages, separate carriers, MC, all that stuff.
Okay. Just to play it safe?
Yeah.
Okay. What was your favorite thing about brokering and least favorite?
My favorite thing was covering freight. When you cover that truck, you have a good feeling. Covering freight always felt good. From the moment I did it, the first time I covered a load, I made like 300 calls or 400 calls, and it was just like freight broker training. But it was actually like I was covering the load. I was like, it was so crazy. Like the guy was like, yeah, I'll take the load. I'm like, you'll take it? Like I was shocked. I couldn't believe it because I made like 300 calls, or if not more. I might have made like 1,000 calls before I actually had a load covered. And that feeling, like that dopamine rush, where like you just like, damn, I just covered this load.
I'm a broker now.
I'm a broker. Yeah, I just brokered a load, and then like you get into it. You're like, okay, like let me figure out this better. Like let me look at this load board. Let me see which companies I know that could take it. It's all about relationships and knowing which companies do what. And you just got to be quick to the phone. You see a load, bang, you call a company that you've talked to maybe a month ago, but you're down in your notes, like this company does Illinois to California. I'm going to call them right away. And then you get into it, right? It's fast paced, and you're competing with a lot of people. So, you know, sometimes what sucks is like you think you have a truck, you're about to cover the load, and all of a sudden someone's like, oh, I got a $50 cheaper truck. Like, that's my load. And then it's like, damn it.
You both lie on both sides. Like the trucker will say the truck broke down. Yeah. The broker will say it got canceled, or what's
they'll say it got canceled. They'll say it's not going right now. Like they'll I mean, there's a lot of things that you say. It goes both ways, right?
Yeah. Because that $600 load, and someone hits you up, you know, I'll take it for $6. Then you call that the $900 guy. Oh, it got canceled, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it happens sometimes, right? I mean, you try to avoid it as much as possible. Some people do. Some people like don't do it at all. I mean, I know companies that don't do it at all, right? That they won't cancel on you if they booked it with you already. You know.
Just a heads up, we're like 80% in because I know after this we got some other content we're gonna go handle.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna go to the Starbucks store.
Order under our usernames.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna go to where are we gonna go afterwards?
We're gonna go probably tour. Check out the ports.
We're supposed to do something. I thought we agreed upon
something. No. What were we gonna do? We were gonna go around
first Starbucks, and then we did something. And then something.
No, then the In-N-Out thing came out.
In-N-Out,
but that was on the spot. And upon closer examination of the time, I don't know about that one, but we'll see.
All right, so question mark on that one.
Question mark on In-N-Out. Many digital brokerages are popping up left and right. Is that good or bad? You know how it gets when there's a lot of volume and something. It kind of affects the rate, you know.
I mean, there's a lot of digital brokers, and I mean, there's nothing really that they do that's different than regular freight brokers. It might be quicker to, like, it just
onboard maybe.
Onboard, yeah. I mean, it's something that they use some kind of technology, but at the end of the day, if you're like a real hustler, if you're a go-getter, I mean, you could still be a successful freight broker, and it's like even more so because like what these large digital freight brokers they rely on good brokers.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say volume, like.
Well, volume, and then they need drivers to use it, and they like what, like there's a lot changing for sure, but at the same time, there's a lot of stuff that's gonna stay the same. Like there might be less brokers needed, but brokers are still needed. Brokers still work at these digital freight brokers.
Yeah.
They just kind of maybe operate a little bit differently, but it's still very necessary.
Okay.
But in terms of my opinion on them, well, I have no opinion on them.
No opinion. You won't get canceled today. Okay. So it's not a good or a bad thing, according to Paul. You have an interesting broker story? Something that happened?
Interesting broker story?
Yeah. Crazy broker story?
Anything crazy? I once had a driver pick up a load of beer out of Fort Collins, Colorado, Anheuser-Busch, and then his truck set on fire and he died.
Fuck.
Yeah, the beer set on fire. And that was in the news.
Beer set on fire?
Yeah. Beer set on fire, and it was in the news. Fort Collins, Colorado, Anheuser-Busch load. And the driver, it set on fire.
How did that happen? I never would have imagined that.
To be honest, it was kind of crazy because, we were dealing with the claim. We were shipping a lot of freight, and we were dealing with the claim. And it came up a few months later about it. Right, I was in an email chain about it, and then I'm like, well, shit. If this guy literally just burned, or this guy's truck burned and he died, like there has to be some news about it. So I googled it, and it was like the same day as our shipment. And it was like the articles about the load from Fort Collins, Colorado, the driver set on fire. I'm like, damn, that's the guy that we brokered the load to. I went to their system and I looked at the load, and the article was writing about that load. Like he was picked up there, and it was crazy. So I found out about it a few months later.
Is it one that you literally covered, or where you worked at?
Well, it was my team. I had a team, so I was a main guy. I was I was a director of operations of like 25 brokers or something like that. So. One of them covered it, right? But I also had a different load. I mean, I was like, the thing for me was like I wouldn't cover them, but I would be the one that like when there was an issue, I was the one who was like supposed to take care of that issue. I was dealing with issues all day. Another story was when we had a load. This was like the beginning of the pandemic. There's a lot of like trailer robberies at this time when people like the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah, even containers. We saw a few. That came into light that they.
Yeah, and we had a pallet of beer from St. Louis to Cartersville. We were shipping a lot of beer. Just gets stolen. This guy cut the seal off. The thing with Anheuser-Busch loads is if you cut the seal, load is rejected. That's an insurance claim. Just because the seal was cut.
No question to ask.
Yeah, Anheuser-Busch will not accept that load.
And that'll literally be like serious shit then. Like, does that load become like a claim?
Yeah,
trash?
It becomes a claim. Yeah.
Fuck.
And it's like it's like a long process. It doesn't like finish quickly. It's like you start the claim process. It's like Anheuser-Busch. It could go on for like a year, right? And like you don't know who's gonna pay yet. Like you're dealing with the insurance. You're dealing with Anheuser-Busch. Just it's a pain.
Why beer? Why is it so precious? Like, why can't it be like? I'm sure it's not the same thing with like medicine, probably, or other stuff. What do you think?
Why did they seal beer, or why did
why did they take it so serious if you break the seal? Like, if
I think it's more or less like it's a huge company, Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light, Budweiser, not Corona, but Stella, I think Corona too. All these companies I think it comes down to like the fact that it's for their own responsibility as a company that they know that no one touched those from the shipper to receiver. Because let's say like, for example, let's just say that for whatever reason, I mean, with beer it's difficult, but somehow it could have been contaminated some way or another. And then if something like someone dies from it or whatever, it's less, you might not think about it, but that's what they're, and it's for Anheuser-Busch, it's like, it's not their fault. So like, why would they accept it? They'll have someone else pay for it. They don't have to worry about it. It's someone else's fault. It's not their fault. So
that's just the policy in place, and now you accept the consequences.
Yeah, exactly.
Both of your stories are with beer, though. Huh?
We shipped a lot of beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of beer. Yeah. So you're gonna kill me. Largest customer. Yeah.
What's the value of a truckload of beer?
It's not that much. It's like probably $30,000, $40,000.
What?
Yeah, it's not that much. I mean, it's just beer when you think about it.
But it's heavy, huh? Heavy as hell.
It's heavy, yeah. 44, 40. It's scaled to legal weight. So they have scales. They scale you light and they scale you heavy. So you're maxed out.
Any advice? I think we covered that already, but I'll ask again. Any advice for truck drivers when they're gonna deal with brokers?
Try to build a relationship with some good brokers. Like get yourself if you like a specific lane that you're covering. Let's say you want to do like a daily route. Figure out how to get in with a broker that could provide you those lanes for the right price that will take care of you. I mean, there's good brokers out there, and it's all about reaching out to them. If you're a good company and if you have like some kind of history, or if you want to build a history, instead of just relying on load boards, start just calling brokerages and see like big ones if they have business that you could just take care of, right?
Oh, you could call them then, not just them calling you.
Oh yeah. No, like it's like what I would do if I was a trucking company right now.
Hunting. I
would reach out to brokers. I mean, I would just use Freight Caviar for example, because a lot of brokers follow me. But yeah, like it'd be smart just to get your name out there.
From earlier, remember?
Yeah,
we're playing peekaboo with the mics.
Yeah, peekaboo. But yeah, like try to just work with a few good brokers and only work. Yeah, if you work with them, then they're gonna be set, right? You have like a relationship built, some kind of like form where you trust each other. Work with good, reputable people that will take care of you, and you'll be fine.
Anything you want to add? Anything you want to add?
I'm looking forward to hopping up to Starbucks and In and Out or Long Beach Containers. Just hitting it with you, Mr. KONTAINEROZ.
All right. And then this was sort of like an express interview. So if you guys have any specific questions, and he's going back to Poland, but I'm sure you'll be down to do something over Zoom or something.
This is doper. Like, this is a much better setup.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do Zoom, but Zoom's not as fun as this.
Okay.
It's cool.
Yeah, if there's anything I missed, I'm sure there's a lot of questions. Maybe they want to know how to do the bond.
Google it.
All right, cool. Thank you, guys. Wait, actually, where can they reach you once again? your handle?
So Instagram is Freight Caviar.
Mm-hmm.
And then
no underscores, no nothing like that.
Nothing like that. Okay. You could go to freightcaviar.com. I'm gonna have a new website set up soon. You could subscribe to my email newsletter at freightcaviar.net. You could go to my LinkedIn on Freight Caviar, Telegram chat where I deal with brokers and dispatchers, Freight Caviar. Just DM me on Freight Caviar.
There it is, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in and dealing with my shenanigans. And
thank you for having me, Luis.
Thank you, Paul.
Appreciate it.
Thank you,
Derek.
Yeah, remember it. All right. Thank you, guys. See you on the next one. We're going to head to Starbucks and... Oh, one more thing. Should he switch his name back to...
Shipping Pallets.
Shipping Pallets. What's better, Shipping Pallets or Freight Caviar? Let me know. Okay, bye.